right. We got a trash bag.
Check, check. Check, 1, 2.
But I got to like level 27. Jesus. But I just wasn't really smart. So I was fighting it out. I was battling. That's the way it goes, I guess.
Good try.
I didn't see him though. I don't know for sure. Beautiful.
Boy, am I underdressed. Look at this man. Okay.
Well, if you don't know, come on.
Playing Robin round 0.
Is that right now?
Yeah, apparently.
Great. What's that?
He's gonna play Robin Hard in round 0. Apparently.
If it stays, I'll take Robin out.
Yeah, you will. Destruction.
That's right.
What is the round 0 brackets? We should
Oh yeah.
look at that, right? Are we using these to talk? Or? Okay. So what are the round 0 brackets?
They're coming up.
Okay.
Hillary's making them right now. We got to kind of wait for the last game to see if anything changes.
Okay.
Going down, buddy.
I love it.
Yeah. Not having any other way.
We've never played each other in
Just
match.
punch each other.
Because I've always been so much
Fight,
better than you,
fists,
and
punch, death. I'm Ardo, by the way. We haven't met.
Yeah, hey.
Rob, how are you?
Big fan. But what's that long interview with Jonas? Great.
It was good. You like it? Good. I'm glad.
I loved it. Yeah. Well done. One tiny detail. Don't forget that I was the one that came up with this whole idea.
Okay. So
You saw the movie.
Okay. We got to make sure.
I reminded Chris Tang. I was like, come on, give me a little shout out. Robin's idea in the beginning.
We should have.
Your idea was a little different.
All of the credit of how amazing this has become is these guys. But very beginning, like to see more.
So you stole the idea and made it.
He's the
That's
Disney
in the
Afternoon
documentary.
World Champion.
We have footage of us coming up with this name, Classic Tetris World Championship. It was actually it was a nod to Nintendo World Championship and kind of a joke that was not a World Championship. It was a national
Right.
World Series.
But this has become a world champion.
And now it has, yeah. The joke is
Will it, they will come.
1-0 starting?
It starts at 4:30 sharp.
Oh, 4:30. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and then in that dead time, Walter Day is going to come over here and present us with some awards.
Yes.
So we're going to give Walter a mic.
Is that where you're all going to stand?
Somewhere, Walter, I'm
Right around
not
here, yeah.
totally sure if he's in front.
Okay, but we're going to.
Said he's just coming.
Okay, well, if he comes, we're all going to shot.
Whose Chipotle is this?
We get rid of it.
You get rid of it? Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna get rid of this too. So
Okay,
Okay, so in the meantime, then I got a video.
you happen to remember when I saved your life that night? I was like, maybe I could get a free commemorative game, and you're like, we'll see. I was thinking, what if I buy one, get one free type deal?
I could do one for 30 because we're doing a split with the guys that made it.
Oh, okay.
So just cover the. How about 2 for 90?
Okay.
Yep. Alright.
The fancy ones. Hold on, and I'll just
So
tell you.
we'll make 0 on the one.
Okay.
I'd rather you have it so you can resell it for 200.
I wish. I don't know who buys these things.
Still got someone playing. Can I help you?
did you make it or is it done now? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's something in the world.
And then I think that I do think it was 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Didn't even know there was a flag.
You are commentating, of course.
Yes, we're on Trice.
Amazing.
Joseph is excited. Like, he saw the video, picked it up, was coming here, and he damn well might win the damn thing. Like, he got nervous when I started talking about him when he was playing. Like, he tightened up. Every game, but I said so he tightened up and Czech was giving me shit, but I didn't say anything back. It's like, you guys learned it now. You might as well. Better to get used to it when you're on qualifying than
That's what I was thinking too.
It's like, good. He needs the experience to, like, loosen up for it because I wanted to win a couple rounds. Shit, so maybe. So is the bracket, like, is the scoreboard up to date? Do we know if we played it back? Because it was, like, stuck before against Max and never got on there.
No, there's a possible. That's a good point here.
Okay, well, let me see. I'll try to link and see if it comes up first.
I texted you the photo of all the mascots. All I know that Frank scored that goal. Did Walter show up? Where Walter at?
Getting beat up already, unfortunately. You ready to go, or? Oh, but we're not.
We're waiting for Walter. If Walter doesn't show up,
I'll go find Walter. Where is he, in the middle of the convention floor?
I don't know.
I'll go get him.
Old School Gamer magazine. Okay. Check. Wait, I need to see the bracket. I'll get it. Can you put the bracket up on the screen? Now we're in a time for it to come up.
bumped me up by 5? I thought the arcade stayed open. Which one is this? It's hardest. It'll take an hour and a half for just 2 rounds of it? Right, so oh, it is 8:90, okay.
Right. Check. All right, everyone, look at the screen. We'll see our bracket for our round 0. And as you can see, it shows you who's in the bracket and who they'll play if they win their match. So if you look at the top left, we see that Paul Tessie is going to play Kristen Stein, and the lucky winner of that match will play Corian tomorrow morning, and so on and so forth. So we're going to announce the order of the bracket here shortly, but everyone who is in the bracket, you have to be here at 4:30 p.m. sharp. If you're not here and you're called to the stage, you will forfeit your match. So everyone be here at 4:30 no matter what.
That's just supposed to be, that's just to be 5.
Kristen?
That should be 5 where Kristen is in the second one.
We all have her fix that one. That's
Why don't you go talk to her?
I will.
But
That's
that's
gonna 1, 2. That's supposed to be
4 plays 5.
That's supposed to be the 5th seed. Okay. I'll figure it out.
We got 33 Kristen, 33 Kristen. 36 Kristen.
This says Alex is 8.
This should not be here.
No, this is supposed to be 5, but
Yeah.
is that right?
I don't know.
We should probably take that down until we get our crap together.
Yeah, I would think so. No, I just need to figure out what
The leaderboard's messed up. We need to get that off. That's wrong. Alex should be 8.
We're having some problems.
Okay.
Are the brackets right?
Well, we
Are
got
the actual matches right?
we got Kristen and Kristen right there. So that's
Let's just
Pull that off.
alright, let's just get that off. Hold on. The bracket, as long as the 25 to 40 are right, I don't care. We have a die? Do we have like a 2-sided die or a 4-sided die? Or is that 8-sided? Let's just roll this. If it's even, we'll do the right side. If it's odd, we'll do the left side. Left side?
Apparently.
All right, so
They had that
that means we're going to do the top left first. 740. That was what's your top left? Okay, here. Okay, everybody get ready.
Where's the house mic? Pass it up. House mic, here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin round 0 very soon. But first, we have a couple of awards and cards to give out. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a very special figure in retro video gaming history. If you've seen the documentary King of Kong, you certainly know this individual. He is a very pivotal figure in the history of record keeping of video games. In fact, he is the man as it pertains to keeping records in video games. And he is here right now, referee shirt and all, to present some awards in the Tetris community. And he's still looking through his awards right now, so I'm going to kill a little bit more time. Is everybody having a good time right now? Fantastic. Thank you, Jonas. You're the only one. All right, we're going to bring you around here. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Walter Day. Walter, the mic is yours.
Now, you guys know I've been to dozens and dozens, if maybe not 100, different events around the world, actually from Finland to Sweden to, well, everywhere, Puerto Rico. And I have to tell you that this event here, Portland Retro Gaming Expo, is really, really above average. It's an extremely good event. And you should thank your lucky stars that you have this level of an event, this quality of an event right here in your hometown area. So let's give it a round of applause for Portland here. Okay. This is incredible. And also the contest environment is extremely advanced. I've never seen another event that had so many high-quality, well-organized events to support the players and the crown champions. And now that's why I'm here. I have some awards and some trading cards for the Tetris community that's been a long time coming. So let's honor the different people who've been part of the historical champions of the Tetris community for all these years. I got an award for Robin. Is Robin here? Robin Mihara. Okay, stand up here. And these guys are on trading cards. And I have Svarvar. Are you here, Gunnarsson? All righty. Now Svarvar, he's taking back a card and an award for a whole bunch of Danish people. So you're going back with a whole bunch of awards here. So why don't you hold, well, let's see, there's quite a few of them here. And is Harry Hong here? Harry. Okay. I know you guys got to start the contest, so I'm trying to not take too much time. So why don't you hold this here? And is Vince here? Vince, are you here? Okay. And who's this guy, Jonas Neubauer? Oh my God. Okay, Vince. So I have to make a corrected card for Vince because I didn't get quite it right for this time. And then there's a bunch of ones being taken back for Christopher, who does the European Tetris one, Christopher Daniel and Emmy Milling. And here's Svarvar's. So these guys, what can I say? The trading cards have been created to commemorate the culture and the history of the video game age. It's a historical tapestry that tries to capture all the different people and their contributions and honor them, but not only honor them, make sure that there's a snapshot of them and their historical accomplishments. And that's why these trading cards exist, and that's why these people have been chosen to be honored in the trading card collection. So let's hear it for them.
So everybody who just got an award, can we have you come around here for a photo op? Come around this way so that everybody can see. Right here. Let's just line you up right here for a nice photo opportunity.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
All right.
In the bag.
Okay, just tell me.
Walter, where are you?
Oh, Adam Cornelius.
Hey, Walter.
Oh, wait a second, over here.
Walter, get in here. Walter, over here, man.
See if it's in here. If it's not in here, then
gosh.
it means it's back.
Hang on a second. Walter.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you find it, Adam? So there is a card for Adam, but miraculously we've just discovered that it's back in my office. Whatever.
Couple more, guys. Couple more. All right.
Oh, by the way, just so you all know, Arda is on a trading card too.
I got mine years ago. Thank
And
you.
Chris
Appreciate that.
Bidwell's behind me. He's on a trading card too. And a lot more people. Very
All right, we're
deservingly.
good? Excellent. All right, big round of applause for Walter for his tireless efforts for the Tetris and video gaming communities.
Okay, the first matches are going to be Paul Tessie versus Kristen Stein. Paul Tessie versus Kristen Stein, come to the stage. And the other match is SQR and Justin. SQR and Justin, come to the stage.
You are the best. You are the best.
And go ahead and start practicing. We're going to get these matches started in about 3 minutes.
All right.
Switch.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. If you don't mind, is that okay?
Because I want to be able to monitor the chat too. Where are the
If you want.
the order the brackets are being played are being randomly selected?
Randomly, okay.
So yeah, just say stay tuned. We'll call you up as we go. Like we're gonna cycle. Basically,
Yeah.
we're gonna cycle through the matches. Every time we get an empty station, we're gonna fill it right back up.
All right. Okay, so round 0 competitors. As soon as a round is finished, we're going to bring you up because we're in a bit of a time crunch. So stay tuned and keep focused. We'll get this over as quickly as possible, but it is randomly selected. We're getting the station set up now.
Chris, who's playing up here? Who's this? Who's this?
That's Justin.
Justin.
Can someone bring up the bracket again?
Yeah.
Random, so I want to do the brackets randomly. I just did it. The next bracket would be the bottom right.
Where are the brackets? I want to see them.
Right here.
Is this publicly available on the info sheet?
Who's the internet, really?
So Vince is, I think he's like still editing it for now. But yes, it is on that sheet.
Round 0's already happening.
If it gets fixed, then yes.
Let me take a picture of it. It's fixed.
But this is the piece.
Is that actually round 0? It's like Jonas and Srovar have to play.
It is a.
It might be. That's rough. They have to play today.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they don't have enough time to do the whole thing tomorrow, so they're getting the extra seeds in today.
I understand, but like in round 0, why are the top seeds playing?
Oh, no. They're playing against those
That
top
just shows you
seeds.
who they're going to play if they win.
Oh, if they win.
Is it this?
Did the Wi-Fi go down?
Vince.
Wait, I want to take a picture of this. This is round 0?
I think so. This is permanent. It's all he's got. Oh, okay. You saved it.
It's just open right now. I have to do it in Photoshop.
Okay, so make sure you save it in the right file.
Are they actually playing right now or no? They're just practicing.
Players are now currently in warm-up. We'll be starting momentarily.
I'll just keep saving it for that one.
No, it needs to be this one.
So bottom right's next then, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
So David and Greg versus Jen and John. Okay, so is the bracket on?
So Paul versus Kristen, and SQR versus Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Paul Tessie versus Kristen Stein.
Yes.
And SQR versus Justin. All right. So all 4 competitors right now still practicing. This is round 0. And when you see the brackets, you will actually see who they would be facing if they were to win tomorrow in the round of 32. So this is a special round that has been added this year at the Classic Tetris World Championships to accommodate the extra 8 competitors that the field has grown to. It is now a field of 40. It used to be a field of 32, and that's why this round has specifically been included. And you can see it is of vested interest to many of the competitors who have already qualified in the top 32, as many of them have decided to stick around and watch these rounds.
Are we not live on YouTube?
Are we?
We're streaming. Okay, awesome. I'll get
So the bottom matchup will be Paul Tessie taking on Kristen Stein. And at the top of your screen, it will be Justin O taking on SQR.
Hold on. We should tell the competitors to get ready and to have the refs determine the score.
What is
The refs okay, don't really talk. The referees are there? Yeah. Okay. So the refs
So competitors and refs, let's set up. Let's be ready to begin our round 0. Chris Bidwell, you ready for this?
I'm ready, Arda. Thank you for coming out, adding a bit of class to this commentary team, because God knows I need the help.
You certainly do, Chris. I'm just kidding. Completely kidding.
Hey,
Are we live on Twitch or no?
It's because of this. Is it live on Twitch? On
Turn it off.
Or where are we live?
Plug it or turn it down.
Okay. Are we live now, or are we going to be? We are currently live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Let's go. Just say refs ready.
All right.
Ready? Okay.
Refs ready? All right, on Tetris. It's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Tetris.
Tetris.
Off we go. Round 0 is underway. The 2018 Classic Tetris World Championships have begun. SQR and Justin up top. Kristen versus Paul in the bottom.
Kristen was our Southern qualifier in Texas. She beat out her husband in the finals to get the free trip to Portland.
Which I'm sure will be bragging rights for the lifetime.
Paul,
Big Tetris for Kristen to start things off.
this is Paul Tessie's first top 32 finish.
He's got the headphones in. He's dialed in, as you can see. Kristen competed in the 2014 tournament, and this is the first time she has returned to the CTWC since that time.
Came back with a vengeance with that satellite win. SQR is a veteran.
Another Tetris for Kristen.
The difference display's not on. The score's not.
So once again, for those who have not seen the new statistics before, you will see a statistic that says TRT percentage. That is Tetris rate percentage. At what percentage are they achieving Tetrises in their score?
And it needs to move over a digit because it's the 7-digit display.
BRN is burn, of course. How many lines they've had to burn since their last Tetris.
You'll notice the snazzy new blinking indicator for droughts. That counter starts up at piece number 13, because that's what separates classic Tetris from modern Tetris. In modern Tetris, you never are without a line piece after 13 pieces.
It always randomizes through every
You get a
piece,
bag.
unlike this cruel RNG.
And then you'll see TRT, which is Tetris percentage. Quote-unquote max out pace is about 60% of your lines being Tetrises.
Little bit of cleanup necessary for Paul. Meanwhile, up top, a closed well for Justin. These are best of 3 series in the round of 0.
Yep. Everybody went with level 18. They had the option for 15, but we have hardcore players. We choose 18. You'll see the BRN statistic. That's the number of pieces run since the last Tetris, and you see SQR is struggling here. Although, seeing the score, it's a pretty brutal piece arrangement. And Justin is about to top out, and SQDAR takes round 1 just like that.
Justin tops out, and you'll see more statistics there. His Tetris rate was 22%. He had 1 drought of 13 lines. And you'll notice the eyepiece number will stay hidden until both competitors are finished, because that would give away any future pieces for those counting. And that is why you will not see that number until both competitors have completed, so as not to give an advantage to the other person playing.
You can see the points per line statistic there on the 3rd line there. You need about double that to get a max out pace, so that was a pretty brutal piece arrangement for both players, and SQR winning out with Justin's top out. And at the bottom,
Paul defeated Kristen in the game number 1.
Mega Retro Man on Twitch.
So just to give you an update, the winner of Paul and Kristen will face Corion in the next round. That will happen tomorrow. And SQR and Justin will meet ZZYZX in the next round.
Who could that be? What a strange name.
I wonder.
Zizix.
Zizix. Game 2 has begun between Paul and Kristen. Kristen also the 2nd ever female to max out in this game. Very impressive feat. We have seen a lot of, speaking of max outs, how many max outs did we see today during qualifying?
If you go check on the chat, we've been putting up links. Oh no, Justin is about to top out. If you can,
oh, Justin, and there
trouble.
It is. It's over there. And SQR.
Very quickly, SQR takes the match.
Justin is our first player eliminated, so SQR will move on to play Zizix in the 2nd round. So that is our first round of 0 matchup completed. Meanwhile, Kristen battling for her tournament life.
Coming up next in their spot is David L versus Greg V. Come on up to the stage and let's get the show going.
So there's the bracket right there. Paul and Kristen are battling for a spot.
These seeds are wrong. Okay. Yeah.
Can we get a version? Okay. Can we get a version of this that just doesn't have the top 8 seeds? Because it just seems to be.
I mean, that's a question for Vince. He's making it by hand in Photoshop.
So did you guys word on?
Meanwhile, the action on screen. Kristen has a slight lead. Paul's got a clean board. Had to settle for a triple there. Yes.
So Dave and Greg are setting up top. They are still practicing at the moment. Paul's leading 1-0 in their round of 0 matchup. Kristen with a great board, building a well very nicely, but Paul also in great position, needing to burn there. He has a drought of 19 thus far.
Gotcha. Okay.
And there's the line, inopportune time for Paul. Kristen burning as well. Tetris for Kristen.
They're still warming up at top just in case.
26% Tetris rate for Kristen working with right now.
But as we were saying, we had 7 players max out in qualifying, 3 of those with double max out. So our top 7 seeds all maxed out in a tournament situation with limited attempts.
And it took not just whether or not they maxed out, but how many times did they max out to order them in the tournament.
Last year, one player, Corion, had 2. One other player, I believe, had a max out. Paul with a very clean board, behind by 1 Tetris. Kristen with another Tetris, now with a 2 Tetris lead.
12% higher Tetris rate for Kristen right now at 36%. Paul is leading the way, however, Kristen will need 2 consecutive victories to move on.
Paul playing a lot more aggressively. He's pressing down. He has several more lines.
Tetris for Paul. Great positioning on both fronts here. About 9,000 points separate the two right now. They're basically neck and neck at this juncture.
That's our first neck and neck of the day.
Greg and Dave up top, about to start their round of 0 matchup. Nice tuck by Kristen. Chris, really, this entire tournament in 2018, this is the most talent-rich pool we've ever seen in terms of contenders.
This is definitely next generation. We had 16-year-old Joseph show up out of nowhere and pull out a max out on stage and get to level 31 live. The first time that's ever happened. 7 players max out. And Paul tops out of nowhere.
Kristen needs 15,000 points in order to take game number 2. It looks like she will do so comfortably if she can get one eyepiece.
She needs that one Zizix well Tetris.
And she's in good position right now, but and it still, line by line, she could be in great position,
well
and there
done.
it is. So it's a best of 1. Next goal wins, so to speak. A little bit of drama in the round of 0.
Yeah, the nerves have to be a bit. Yep, they're started up top.
Greg and Dave have begun. They both decided to start at level 15. Greg with a slight lead right now. Both of them have some cleanup to do.
Yep. Decided to start at level 15, a little slower. That's a drop rate of 4 frames per line. You see our statistics here.
So for those curious, the difference in Tetris score from level 15 to level 18 is about a 3,600 difference.
Yeah,
in points.
1,200 points per level. The big difference is the speed difference.
So game number 3 is underway. Both Kristen and Paul decided to start at level 18 once again. Winner moves on.
Not the next round, but the first 8 are set correctly.
Paul not happy with that Z drop right there.
That is screaming for a T-piece.
Oh. Kristen almost looks like a center well will be built right there.
We've seen a proliferation of the center well play the past couple of years, not just Quaid Hauser. And it works. If you're good, it works.
The concept of the center well, of course, introduced in the Ecstasy of Order documentary.
To play beyond level 29.
A 41% Tetris rate thus far for Kristen. Both of them tied at 1. Winner moves on. A drought has started to form for Paul. Quickly eradicated. Tetris for Paul. Meanwhile, up top, a nice play field for Dave. Burning a couple lines there. Greg has some cleanup.
At level 15, they can afford to play a little bit higher. You typically don't want to go above the versus sign unless you're a hyper tapper. But at level 15, you can take more risks. And just a reminder, at level 18, Tetrises are worth 22,800. So you can do the math if you'd like to see the difference. Paul with a Tetris, cleaning up a very high stack. And he goes for the triple, plays it safe. When you're playing in a tournament situation, you tighten up a bit.
Kristen with a beautiful play field. Paul will get that Tetris. A dirty Tetris indeed. He's here. He's laughing himself.
We got the smirk.
He's like, I don't care. It's a Tetris. A Tetris is a Tetris. Just put it on the board. That will be a triple there for Paul. Paul has a center well, Tetris ready. He's just collecting Tetris styles at this point. Center well Tetris, dirty Tetris.
I think he just wants to win however he can. And the same can be said for Kristen, who's got an interesting arrangement here that she needs to clean up.
A great matchup, though. They're still neck and neck, only 1,000 points separating them, essentially even. Paul pulling away just a little bit as Kristen has some cleanup to do. Meanwhile, Greg has a gaping hole in his play field, and that misdrop will caused him to top out. He had a drought of 21. As Dave will take game number 1. They did not exit level 15.
Best 2 of 3.
Kristen not happy with the pieces right now in the placement, but she's still in good position right here. A nice double there, slowly and surely. Still 20,000, just a Tetris down right now at this point.
A classic neck and neck game, and you want to see that in these rounds. You want to see real competition here.
Game number 2 has begun up top. Dave leading 1-0. Early tuck from both competitors.
Tetris for Paul.
Paul happy with the result.
Up by 2.5 now. Kristen's got some work to do, but a dirty Tetris is available. Settles for the triple to knock that stack down. She's still in good shape. We still got a lot of game to play. We're nearing the transition.
Happy with that eye block right there, making the Tetris for Paul.
You traditionally want to get that stack down before the switch over to level 19.
And it looked like Greg topped out right there, so Dave will move on. A 34-piece drought. Wow. So Dave sweeps. Greg will move on to the round of 32. He will be back tomorrow to compete in the Classic Tetris World Championships. Meanwhile,
next up we have Jen and John. Jen Morgan, John Baker.
Tetris for Paul. He has transitioned to level 19.
Beautiful transition. It's exactly where you want to be. Kristen is hanging tough. You got a beautiful board right where she wants to be. She's playing a little slower.
Down by a few Tetrises, though.
But now's where we're going to see the real skill come out. Who has the better level 19 game is going to take this match, and that's the way it should be.
Great cleanup by Kristen. She's in terrific position, as is Paul.
You want to keep that stack below the versus sign if you do not hyper tap. There it is.
Tetris for Kristen.
On the comeback trail, down by 3.
Reminder, level 21 for Paul, level 21 for both. And both of them with great play fields at the moment.
Paul with a well, and there's a Tetris.
A triple for Kristen.
He barely got that line piece to the left. You don't want to go any higher if you're Paul.
Some great play happening at the bottom of your screen right now. Both of these competitors definitely want to make it to the next round. Some great high-level play right now.
Tetris for Paul. 100,000 point lead. We are racing to level 29. Boom, Tetris for Paul, 130,000 point lead. Kristen is in cleanup mode. 19-piece burn. So the question for Paul is, do I take the foot off the gas? When it's winner take all, it's hard to say yes to do that.
It's very tempting to continue to go as fast as possible in this
juncture.
There
he goes. Another
huge
Tetris for
Tetris.
Paul. Huge
Pulling
lead.
away with it right now. 180,000 plus lead right now for Paul
Kristen
in this decisive game.
Full attack now.
Meanwhile, Jin and John has started above.
No, they're practicing.
Oh, they're practicing. Pardon me. That's my bad. My apologies. Can't be right all the time, folks.
Nope. Dirty Tetris opportunity for Kristen. Nope, she had to cover it up.
Playing dangerously high right now. Oh, no!
And that's going to do it.
And that is
Excellent
it.
game.
Paul moves on in a terrific deciding game in the round of 0. The crowd responding in kind to a great matchup, Chris.
Great showing for your first tournament, Paul.
So it'll be Trey and Burke who are next. We can get them up.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, we have a moment to click over to the bracket. Talk about the bracket.
Oh, these are correct now?
Yeah, yes.
They are correct.
Yes.
So here's the updated bracket right now. It will be Paul taking on Corion in the round of 32. Meanwhile, SQR will be taking on Alex. The winner of Trey and Burke will face Harry, or Larry, depending on who you ask. Patrick and Beta Strep will be facing off a little bit later on. The winner will face Joseph. Green Tea is our second seed. He awaits the winner of Ethan and Sam. Meanwhile, Robin and Packy Patrick will take on Josh, whoever wins that matchup. David and Greg. Jonas awaits the winner there. David is the winner there, so he'll face Jonas. And Jin and John, they are battling it out right now, and the winner will face Svevar.
Are we live up top?
Are they live up top? Yes.
We are live up top. Jin and John have now started. At the bottom, Trey and
Paul.
Burke are
Yep.
practicing. But up top is a competitive matchup. It's happening right now. They are even right now. Oh, down by a Tetris. Jin.
And
A great Tetris right there. Another Tetris for Jin.
this looks like a generous piece arrangement for this match. Both players have over 80% Tetris rate. If you keep that above 60%, that's a max out pace. Or in the championship cartridge version, we do have a 7th digit, so we want to see some million-point scores this weekend.
So, Burke is a beardsman, and he has competed in a beard contest.
Okay.
And of course, Trey is our tech director here.
So Burke is checking his stress level right now. His hands are shaking just a little bit. What's also shaking is his formidable beard. As you can see, that is one hell of a beard, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for that beard. How about that? Absolutely. In fact, I was just told that he has competed in beard competitions. Not only did I just learn that he competed, but I also learned that they just exist. Now we know. The more you know.
They call him a beardsman.
They're called beardsmen, by the way.
We are in Portland.
Who are we?
Well, our resident beardsman will now compete.
So up top,
in the
Jin
round
just
zero.
took round 1 very quickly with a 150 to 120.
Jin was ahead on points, and also John tops out. So Jin is ahead 1-0.
You'll quickly see that statistics screen. The D total, D average, D max, that's drought totals.
So,
PPL is points per line. TRT is Tetris percentage.
as the game went on, and that's when you were ahead and when you were behind.
Okay.
And the red and green show the fluctuation of the difference in score.
And Trey and Burke are live.
So you can see Jin was essentially ahead the entire matchup except for 2 short moments based on the red and green lines. That's what it's showing you right there based on the flow of the match. Some great increased statistics. Game number 2 is now underway. Jin has a 1-0 lead. Meanwhile, have Trey and Trey and Burke have started?
Trey and Burke have started, yes.
So here we are. Both of them start at level 18. Meanwhile, Jin and John have decided to start at level 15.
And Trey and Ben Mullen are both new fathers. I've challenged them both to come up with the best dad joke before the end of the weekend.
Nice well for John so far, and Tetris for Jin.
Starting level 15 up top. Get the nice softer colors.
For those unaware, Trey is also responsible for all of the programming for what you see on screen with the CTWC.
Yeah. It's you're looking at a digital recreation of an analog signal. This isn't the actual video from the NES.
Yeah, just to expand on that, what you're seeing on screen, Tetris for Jin in the center well right there, what you're seeing is Trey recreated the Tetris game and essentially in HD. So that's what you're seeing on
John
screen.
Is in trouble. He tops out, and that's it.
Oh, John, that is it. Jin will move on. Congratulations to Jin. And Jin moves on to face Svevar in the round of 32. Svevar is the Classic Tetris European champion. He is the reigning champion, and he is a two-time champion in Europe. The first time he has traveled here to Portland to challenge for the crown. Meanwhile, Tetris for Burke.
Next up on stage, Patrick N versus Beta Strep.
Jin was leading essentially the entire time. Once again, you can see the point distribution there. There's one blip.
There's a lot of green on that board. It's pretty fun with this round zero. It's good to get some one-on-one competition on Saturday. I think that's what the crowd craves. That's what chat craves. So I'm glad we can give more of it.
Shout out to the those who are watching at home right now on YouTube and on Twitch. They have been watching all day and commenting in the Twitch chat. We thank you for sticking with us all day.
1,000 viewers for a pretty chill competition throughout the qualifying rounds. Thanks to James Chen for commenting a bit on that.
Trey got himself out of a little bit of a hole there, and he's got a nice well. And boom, Tetris for Trey.
Simul Tetris.
Those are the best kind, aren't they?
Yep. Like we just aren't they?
Neck and neck on the bottom.
Absolutely. Zero, literal zero difference between the two scores for a moment there.
Now, do you think Trey coded an advantage for himself in this matchup?
Trey is very honest. I would not expect him to ever do that.
Yeah, fair enough. Level 19 up top. A little practice there for Patrick and Beta Strep. They can start anytime. Patrick and Beta Strep can start anytime.
That's done, that's happening, this is happening. Do the top right last. And then Rob, so there's two left. Oh, wait, this is the bottom left is done. Go back to the other side. Yeah, okay, so now we do the top right. Yeah. How many more of these are done? David and Greg have, so these two. Yeah, so next to Ethan and then Robin Packy.
So Trey and Burke, as we begin between Beta Strep and Patrick N.
That square drop was awful for Burke.
Oh, bad placement there for Burke.
If he can dig out, he'll be okay, but
Burke ranked 36th in qualifying, Trey 29th.
He needs that line piece now. There we go, nicely done. Oh no.
Bad more placements, he might lose. And that untimely piece, and he will top out. Trey takes game number 1. But as you can see, Burke was leading for much of the game.
All it takes, one misdrop.
It just goes to show you how volatile this game really is. One bad drop can completely change your fortunes in this matchup, as evidenced by what just happened to Burke, as he was leading for essentially 95% of this game, but he is down 1-0 in the series.
That's all it takes. We've started up top. We have a 3 Tetris lead for Patrick right now. Make that 4. Beta has a little bit of digging to do, but looks like he should be able to handle that, as most of our top players can.
Patrick ranked 28th in qualifying, Beta Strep 37th. Remember, this is a field of 40 this year.
Our cutoff was at the 560,000 point mark this year. So
who saw that coming? 560,000
with 40 slots. The quality has just leaped up and ahead from last year.
And players coming in cold and getting scores of 800,000-900,000. Yanni had some travel issues getting here, all the way from Scandinavia. Finally made it here at around 1 o'clock. His first qualifier, 850,000. Just like that.
He's amazing. And thank you to the gentleman in Switzerland who helped pay his way.
Shout out in the Twitch chat. SGT Sorrow said, Twitch chat called 600K right at the very start. So shout out to Twitch chat who got it right.
Well, yeah, they're smarter than we are.
And they're always right.
Yeah. Got Trey with a pretty good lead right now.
A little bit of cleanup necessary here, though. Oh, that's a bad, unfortunate drop there, and he gets his eyepiece at an untimely time.
And he gets that one in a timely time. And then, boom, Tetris for Trey.
How about that? 3 back-to-back eyepieces, essentially.
RNG is good to Trey today.
Yeah.
He has a 3.5 Tetris lead up top. Patrick has opened up a monster lead with a 5 Tetris lead right now.
He is cruising in this first game.
Oh, Beta needed that boot. Oh, that could be it.
It looks like Beta's going to top out, and Patrick will take game number 1. Meanwhile, Burke with some nice cleanup in the bottom. 54% Tetris rate for Patrick in game number 1. He did not relinquish the lead the entire game.
No, that's domination. And when you know you're behind and the pressure is even more added that you just can't make a single mistake, that was just too much this round.
Tetris ready, and gets the Tetris, does Trey. He is leading by a few Tetrises at this point, and he's also leading in the series.
So you see the new statistics with the BRN. That's number of lines burned since the last Tetris. So you see Burke has 4 lines since his last Tetris, Trey with 3. And then after the next Tetris shows up, you'll see TRT, which is Tetris rate. That's the number of, that's percentage of scores that are Tetrises as opposed to single, double, triples.
Looks like Burke is in a little bit of trouble here as we inch. Oh, good job there as we inch closer to the transition here. Both of them at level 18.
About halfway
Burke
there.
playing a little high, but it's calming down just a little bit. Trey in great position right now with a nice well forming. He is Tetris ready.
Your classic left to right, high to low, right well open. And he's rewarded with a Tetris.
With a terrific Tetris. Will burn a couple lines there. Put
He's
himself
now
Tetris
ahead.
ready once again. And another Tetris
He's
for
ahead
Trey.
by 7 Tetrises now.
He seems to be running away with it. Don't count the Beardsman out just yet, however. Meanwhile, Patrick in the lead once again by about 4 or 5 Tetrises.
Yeah, 23,000 roughly for a Tetris, about 3.5.
In great position right now.
You'll see that Tetris rate percentage up top.
73%. Very impressive by Patrick, but he's been playing at that high level, that high Tetris percentage rate in both games.
He's been super aggressive.
A nice tuck by Trey, an eye tuck. And no, that is not an Apple product. There's your dad joke. That's a joke that Trey should have been saying.
Trey has just opened this game up wide. If Burke is going to win this match, he's got to turn it up to another level here. As they're approaching the transition to level 19 at 130 lines. The game could shift with that shift in speed. And
Patrick looking for a line right now. They are. Patrick is playing a little high in terms of transition. He has a drought forming right now. Continues to climb. There's the piece. Boom! Tetris for Patrick. Oh, that might be a little difficult.
He can get out of this.
That placement of that.
A drought at the transition. Oh, wait.
A large drought forming. Trey finally gets his eyepiece as he transitions to level 19. Patrick in terrific position. And now a dual transition there. Burke transitioning as well. Oh, no. Couldn't make the placement. And that'll be it. Trey moves on to the round of 32. Trey will face Harry Larry in the next round.
As I like to say, it's a game of frames, and that one frame difference was the end of it. One more tap to the right, Burke would have been in it.
So Trey plays Harry in the next round. Harry's your 4th seed. And there's your updated brackets. Just move 29th ranked Trey into the next round, and you'll see exactly where we are. Patrick and Beta Strep still battling right now.
Who's up next?
Ethan versus Sam next.
Ethan versus Sam is up next.
Ethan and Sam are your next competitors. The winner of that will face Green Tea, who has been extremely impressive so far in qualifying. I mean, that is a terrifying matchup.
Green Tea in his debut is just killing it.
Just an unfortunate bow placement there for Patrick. It looks like he might top out, or he's cleaning up there. Good triple. A Tetris for Beta Strep. He's in great position. So a little cleanup necessary for Patrick. And
he has
for
the
all intents
lead.
and purposes, he has the lead, and he's trying to dig himself out of this. Oh,
Ooh.
Another bad placement, and that might be it. Yeah.
Well,
he's still battling, but it might be too much, and I think it is right there. So now, Beta Strep needs 49,000 more points in order to take game number 2.
3 Tetrises will do it. But he just covered up his well. No major droughts for Patrick in that game, just an unfortunate drop.
Had the lead the entire game, too. So right now, still has the lead, technically, of course. But Beta Strep fighting for his tournament life right now. In a battle against himself, essentially, right now. Needs 36,000 more points.
Plus, he's nearing the transition. If he does not get that well uncovered before the transition, that might be game over.
Now the well will open up.
And
there's the line right there as he transitions beautifully. He needs 7,000 more points. Can he do it?
He can play conservative now, about 1,000 points per single line.
He might just pull it off here and force a game 3, a decisive game. He needs about 4 more lines right now. Oh, no. But he's still in it. He's still in it.
There we go.
The well is open. He needs 180 points. You have got to be kidding me.
No.
Oh, my gosh. Incredible. He was right there at the finish line, and Patrick now will move on. What a heartbreaking way to be eliminated.
That's less than a single line. That's pressing down. The difference was pressing down.
That is heartbreak in the round of 0. Wow. So Patrick moves on to face 16-year-old Joseph Saley in the round of 32.
Joseph the Wonderkin. Our final matchup of round 0 is Robin Mihara versus Packy 619.
Wow.
I am in shock. He had it. It was there, and the line piece came one piece too late. Down at the bottom, So these are both starting fresh?
Yeah, they're both. Let's get them to start at the same time. Okay. Hey, refs. Let's start them at the same time.
It's the final two matches.
They started already? Okay, never mind. That's okay. So, wait, who are they? They started apparently, but who are they?
Sam.
Well, Sam's leading 2-0? Sam and Ethan at the bottom have begun. These are our final 2 round of 0 matchups.
Rob Mihar is one of the founders of this tournament, as featured in the documentary Ecstasy of Order. He was also the 3rd place finisher in the 1990 Nintendo World Championships, while Packy, on the right, which we haven't changed the names yet, we'll get that. Packy was a finalist in the 2015 Nintendo World Championships. So we got 2015 versus 1990. Packy is also the Dr. Mario National Champion. Team 1990 chant from the crowd.
Had an impressive showing, did Packy yesterday in our Dr. Mario tournament.
At the bottom, we already have a win.
Sam takes game number 1 in our bottom round of 0 matchup. He is leading 1-0 in the series over Ethan.
Yep. Or Packy, Patrick, whichever. It's that.
The winner of Ethan and Sam at the bottom of your screen will face Green Tea in the round of 32 tomorrow. And Robin and Patrick, I should say, the winner of that. Will meet Josh. These are the final 2 in the round of 0. Our final 2 matchups today. Robin and Patrick has begun. Both of them opting to start at level 15. Patrick, though he is the Dr. Mario champion, this is the first time he's qualified for the Classic Tetris World Championships.
He had to break 500,000 to get in the bracket. It's no small feat. Patrick picked up Classic Tetris just to spite Vince Clemente, and he's done a great job.
A lot of people do a lot of things to spite Vince Clemente. He's also my boss, so I'm fired. So a couple
we are very high up top there with both players.
At level 15, they're neck and neck right now.
Boom,
Nice
Tetris
Tetris
for Packy. I've been waiting to say that for a while. He was my fellow finalist in the 2015 Nintendo World Championships. Robin is dealing with danger quite well, thank you very much.
Robin has some digging to do, but he is definitely a survivor. Sam and Ethan, meanwhile, with both clean playing fields.
Boom, Tetris for Robin.
Good job by Robin.
Half Tetris lead, back to 1.5. Packy with a Tetris.
It's neck and neck, meanwhile, between Sam and Ethan at level 18. A drought is forming. Sam finally gets that line. Another one.
You can see this Tetris percentage at the top. It's very low. Pretty bad piece set for both players.
Not the most favorable RNG for both Patrick and Robin.
And this is a championship, and they both get the same lousy piece set, and whoever handles it better will win.
And Chris, this is where practice and practice and practice would come in.
Absolutely. Deal with the awkward situations, and you'll win. Meanwhile, at the bottom, we have two boring, clean games. Boring clean is best clean.
Yeah, I'm sure if you ask the competitors, it's not so boring.
No, they appreciate the break. Both very close matches. This is what we want to see on round 0. The decision to make 40 seeds this year was the right decision. Boom Tetris for Robin.
So just to, as these final matchups are happening, just to give you an idea of what else is happening in our area, there's actually a school here that have been studying some of our top Tetris competitors. Because we got some cleanup there by Patrick. Patrick, has a position there. Tetris, a dirty Tetris as you would call it.
Dirty Tetris.
The Rensselaer School of Humanities is here, getting some of our top players to play Tetris so they can essentially analyze them and study their patterns in their minds, essentially. Very cool. Tetris for science.
They studied my gameplay, and I think I'm going to ruin their data results.
You might be what they call an outlier, Chris.
Yeah, way over to the left. Sam's got the Zizix well set up. Patrick capped off his well.
Great Tetris for Sam. Keeping the play area low. Robin and Patrick, though, despite the poor piece set, have been doing quite well. 64% Tetris rate for Patrick, who's in the lead right now.
Yeah, Robin's been playing more aggressive. He has way more lines. So if you're scoring like in bowling, Packy is way more ahead than the 2,000 point difference would indicate. But we're going to get a transition fairly soon, and then we're going to see how they can really play. Oh, missed drop for Sam. But he does have a comfortable 5 Tetris lead. Ethan's going to have to turn on the afterburners here. Both players up top are neck and neck.
Sam has some cleaning up to do. He is very high right now at 123 lines as well. Nice double there. Good piece placement there. He continues on. And the transition for Sam. He's playing high up.
That might be curtains.
Tetris for Ethan. And it looks like it is. So Ethan now will need 80,000 points in order to take this one.
We saw what happened last match, though, so anything can happen still. Ethan's right where he wants to be, but you got to execute.
If we can give some advice to Ethan, press down. Don't listen to that, says the guy in the crowd.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. A couple poor placements as he transitions, and he is at mid-board right now. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, this could be it.
Enough.
It's it. And Sam moves on. Sam will move on, and he will face Green Tea in the round of 32.
That's just the last 2 now.
And now our final round of 0 matchup is above. Patrick at level 17. Robin has transitioned to level 19, now level 20.
Robin is ahead in points right now, but he is ahead 3 levels. He is pushing and pushing and pushing. And that's great if that's how you keep your mental focus. There's nothing wrong with that strategy.
Misdrop there with the O piece. A nice tuck there. Oh, but unfortunately that T block, that is a crucial miss right there. And he will top out. So 26,000 points needed for Patrick.
He's going to play it safe. He needs 1 Tetris to win this first round. Is he going to get it dirty style? He's going to play it safe to the transition. Probably smart move.
He'll just single it out.
Oh, no.
Poor placement there, Patrick. This is game number 1.
This ain't Dr. Mario's son.
Were you waiting to say that too?
Oh, God, yes. Well done.
Good placement there as he moves on to level 20. He needs 12,000 points just in and around.
If he can dig like 12, 13 lines, he can still take it. Well,
he's singling, just single, nice, calm, and cool. He got himself out of that one. Good position right now.
4,000 to go.
He is there. He is there. And there it is. Game
Well
number one
done.
to Patrick. Well done by our Dr. Mario champion to take game number one. The winner of this matchup will take on Josh Tolles in the round of 32.
I got to warn Packy. Robin Mihara is not from Denver. Denver trio from, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
He beat all three of them.
So as they set up for game number two, just a reminder that Robin was instrumental in the very early stages of this tournament as well.
We wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for his work early back in the 20-oddies.
So cheers to Robin as he goes to game number two here between him and Patrick. Level 18 for both of them.
As Salt and Pepper is urging us to push it.
Real good.
Real good.
Neither of us are in any position to sing that song.
No, but Robin is pushing it. He's an aggressive
He's
player.
pushing it to the limit right now. Yeah, he's definitely aggressive as he's keeping it very high right here.
From his NWC days, when you had a time limit to consider, he had to push down. So that's his gameplay he's used to, so that's what he sticks with. Packy's got the lead, but he's got a weird double valley sort of thingy. That's the technical term for it, yes.
Well, he got his line.
Thanks, Vince.
Look at you just inventing terms.
I know. I'm a wordsmith. Robin is oh no, that might be it.
A very poor misplace. And yes, that is it. Patrick moves on. A big round of applause for Robin, though, one of the pioneers of the CTWC.
2015 over 1990. Woo!
So the battle ends between a couple of NWC alums. And yes, Robin will take his selfie. And now let's update you on the round of zero, which has now completed. So Paul Tessie will meet the #1 ranked Corion in the round of 32. SQR will face Alex, Trey, and Harry Hong. Patrick N. and Joseph Saley on the other side of the bracket.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m., it's going to be a war. Tune in, Twitch, YouTube.
Sam faces Green Tea. Josh Tolles versus now Patrick. David L. will take on Jonas. And Jin and Svevar.
So they're going to switch to the 32 bracket and just say, here's tomorrow's.
And there it is, your round of 32. We will be here starting at 10 a.m. local time.
Well done. I don't think I tripped over too many things.
We'll do a sign off. All right, so on your screen you see the round of 32. These are our final 32 participants after the round of zero that will face off to crown a brand new Classic Tetris World Champion. As you look at these matchups, Chris,
yes,
what are you seeing in terms of difficulty in the early rounds?
Our top 7 players maxed out. So it's after round 1, it's going to be wide open, anybody's game. I can't think, I don't know. Is Jonas the favorite again? I don't know.
If you ask Jonas, he's not the favorite. He actually has publicly said Corion is his pick to be the favorite in this tournament.
That's just his mind games.
Whether that's modesty or whether that's him being as honest as possible remains to be seen. So we will be here at 10 a.m. local time to crown a new champion. Go back to the tournament bracket. I just want to take a picture. get a? Can I just get this graphic? I want to send it. Or post. How can I get this graphic?
I can email it to you.
Please do. It's arda.ocal@gmail. Yeah.
Arda.
Ocal, O-C-A-L.